इंडिया में लोग इसको प्रमोट कर रहे हैं, इसके ऊपर कदम उठा रहे हैं, अवेयरनेस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं।
And we'll start with proceeding.
Safe ingredients make safe food. At Millet Mart Ventures, we do not put all eggs in one basket. To ensure a steady supply of safe ingredients, we ensure all food from India to 170 countries are made as per the food safety norms of respective country. This number grows as we further keep visiting various destinations as a part of our Millet mission to celebrate the International Year of Millet 2023. We also have many strategies, like supporting local companies to set up farms. Manufacturing facilities, testing facilities increase the amount of produce harvested from local farms. Our goal is to produce 100% safe food products to achieve rupees 1,000 crores of millet export by 2025 all across the globe. With intensive product research and AI-based precision farming adoption, we are able to grow 4 times more food with lesser resources. We can also tap on novel food options in the form of plant-based proteins. With our blockchain-based food trust, we are ready for the next step to ensure safest food from the Indian subcontinent to all parts of the globe. Ensuring food safety is by not less than a walk on a sharp-edged knife. Only safety standards to save food. And we adopt a risk-based approach to food safety, where food of higher risk is subject to more stringent checks to ensure it can match all international food safety norms. Our approach is consistent with international standards and guided by the NRL safety maturity guidelines. We also pay close attention to new technologies and developments in food safety. As we prepare ourselves for challenges ahead, be it enforcing safety regulations or testing food samples for compliance and taking the lead in food safety, research and technology, or having a robust food audit and inspection regime that covers every food establishment, we keep a close watch and help them to make it their culture and part of an integrated food safety system that is in place so that you can enjoy every meal with peace of mind. Adopt MMBPLS, QMM-based food trust today and be part in making sure that your food supply is resilient and safe together. Ensure a supply of safe food for all.
I now call upon Professor Moni Madaswamy, former Director General of National Informatics Center, to the stage. I now call upon Mr. Parasuram, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Foundation, to the stage. Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, President of All India Council of Robotics and Automation. I could see Mr. Sudhanshu, Secretary of APEDA, please. Of course, Mr. Shankaran. So we'll start the day with the lighting of the lamp. Of course, Tarun, are we ready with the light?
पकड़ना कौन है?
Excellency, please.
The progress. Okay, okay. No. लैंप लाइट हो रहा है, हो रहा है, बुला रहा है।
Shreya, you also take some pictures. Huh?
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating the Internet Layer of Millet 2023, and it's a very great pleasure and honor for Millet Mart Ventures to host this event. Even though we have a very minimal participation from the farmers, we have expected something close to 1,200 farmers and many people to be present over here. We are equally supported by Bayer Crop Science and FarmGate, the group company of Nagarjuna Fertilizers and Chemicals. So they are traveling along with us in this Herculean task of empowering the rural public of India. And our mission is to take up the millets to the global market to the extent of 1,000 crores marks somewhere close to 2025. We are having that mission and we are very closely working. And of course, our friend and director, Mr. Satyanarayanan, will be reaching any moment. He has landed in Delhi from Belgium. We there in the hotel and he will be reaching us any moment. So he is the man behind this great mission and we have the privilege of traveling along with APEDA and we are thankful to the entire team of APEDA, especially Mr. Sudhanshu for providing this wonderful opportunity. And I should mention here that yes, we have Mr. Shankaran, the leading star of our group, who is there guiding us every moment and taking us to the international arena and ensuring that we carry our policy and we implement it at the grassroots level and we are going ahead with that. And of course, we'll do more about it. But before starting the proceedings, we just want to do the honor of providing the bouquet and a shawl. Tarun, are we ready with that? Any volunteer? I request Mr. Shankaran to present the bouquet and yeah. I request Mr. Shankaran to present the shawl to His Excellency. Mr. Shankaran, to please honor Mr. Sudhanshu. Sir, இந்த பக்கம் பாருங்க. Mr. Shankaran, please do the honor to Professor Modi. And now to Mr. Parasuram. And of course to Dr. Sanjeev Behra.
All colors.
Last but not the least to Mr. Rajkumar Sharma. I call upon Mr. Bharat Mata Mohanji to do the honors to Mr. Shankaran. Thank you, thank you. Sir, you can also receive. So with the customary thing, as the Secretary General has to leave for some urgent assignment, I just request him to deliver the keynote address first, then we'll go on with the other addresses. His Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A very good morning to everybody. I'll say all the protocol respected, my all dear colleagues, we are all partners. So I'll spare the time to go through all the protocols. With all my respected guests, many of them are very well known to me personally, and they are very good partners with the African Asian Rural Development Organization. It's a pleasure for me to be here as the Secretary General of ADU, representing 32 governments. So I have the honor and pleasure to welcome you and to greet you all on behalf of all these governments, because I've got the mandate to represent all these governments. And it's a wonderful job. I want to congratulate everybody who is putting their efforts and hands together so that we are taking an important mission. This is already a movement which is picking up. The mission, the mode has already been given, and we have to take it up together by many stakeholders. I greet all the distinguished guests also in this rich part here, and we do understand that there will be people following us also online, and we'll be having maybe very shortly also representative of the farming and farmers organization, who are the real producers and who are the main stakeholders when we are talking about taking the mission of millet, making sure that the millet in the year, International Year of Millet, becomes a commodity which is going to be used by many in this world, but especially in Africa and Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, my distinguished delegates and honorable assistants in this gathering, we are very much aware that this world and many of our countries are facing serious difficulties. We are having a series of difficulties from the food perspective, from the climate perspective, from finance perspective, and we know that even nowadays we've got economic outlook forecast, which is still forecasting gloomy types of figures in Africa and Asia. So I don't want to bother you about all that. We had some presentation. Maybe later on we will be circulating those presentations. But let me highlight only a few issues regarding millet itself and the year of millet which has been agreed, which has been adopted by the United Nations by a resolution to declare this year International Year of Millet. And I would like, again, on behalf of all the governments in African Asian Rural Development Organization, to thank the government of India for having taken that initiative, for having taken that idea itself forward to the United Nations. In 2018, I think that was the mission taken at that point in time. And even the government of India has already celebrated an the National Year of Millet in India in 2018. So the focus has been there in the Indian economy. Now our mission, together with all the promoters, together with all the partners, I think we are well set to take that mission much further into the economies of Africa and Asia. Obviously, we'll take it in other places also of the world, but representing African Asian Rural Development Organization, I have got very serious concern for these two continents of Africa and Asia. When we know that many people and most of the population of these countries, especially when we're talking about sub-Saharan Africa, we know most of these people are living in rural areas. And lately, during the pandemic, we realized how difficult it was for these people not only to get food and food security, to have their own livelihood. Livelihood was at stake over the last 2-3 years. So this is where the consciousness of the world has come up a bit, and we would like to put all our efforts together. And I'm very thankful to many initiatives. I know even Professor Mooney, who is here on the podium with us, he has got a series of initiatives. And APEDA is also getting maximum support of taking that mission of making the International Year of Millet successful in terms of creating the awareness, in terms of increasing the production, in terms of increasing the consumption. The main issue we are facing in this world nowadays is that we have to review our consumption patterns. We have to review our production pattern and other methodologies also we are facing nowadays. We are all together in this world, we have already crossed 8 billion people. 8 billion people to feed is not a mere, it's not a simple task. And although we started the SDGs, implementation of the United Nations SDGs has started a long time back, since 2015. We have noted that many countries, especially I'm focusing again on Africa and Asia, in Latin America and also we've got many countries which had issues in completing MDGs at that time. We call them, they had an unfinished agenda of MGDs. Now they have been saddled with new goals, specific goals, 17 goals of SDGs. And we are realizing we've got very serious, important reports which are highlighting that we are missing the train even if we talk about SDG 1 and SDG 2, where poverty has to be eradicated, where hunger has to be eradicated. So why is it that millet is becoming important? Millet is becoming very important because these are Nutri goals nowadays we can say. These are cereals which can save the world, which is answering to the SDGs requirements, which is nutrition, which has a very high nutrition value also. And we know that it has been with us, it has been with humanity since very long. It's only that we have to promote it, we have to make sure that we revalorize the millet. I've got certain figures, I don't want to bother with you. Many of our specialists later on will be talking to you about their figures. But I only want to highlight that Africa itself is producing quite the biggest chunk of millet in the world. We have got on records more than 423 tons, lakh tons of production of millets in Africa. Various millets taken together. And in Asia, it's about 215 lakhs tons, which is being produced, with India producing more than 170 lakh tons. So India itself is representing more than 80% of Asia's production and approximately 20% of the global production. As I said, it is there already in many countries, so records have it that millet is being produced and consumed in about 131 countries. We are relying on millet to solve a series of problems. There's problem of food, feeding the whole nation, problem of fuel, malnutrition, health, and climate change also can be easily solved by our millet production. We do understand that India has got lots of knowledge, lots of technologies, and India has been promoting millet since 2018. It has been there, as I said, in the economy before. And there are many programs at the national level which have been readjusted or adjusted to ensure that millet production can be easily enhanced. Recently also we had an event promoted by Krishi Jagan, where the honorable ministers also were highlighting the traditional use of millet and the potential of millet. So we want this millet international year to continue well beyond. This is the awareness here, but the production has to continue well beyond, the consumption has to continue well beyond 2023. Maybe we will have at some point in time to account when we are having a conclusion of the SDGs. Maybe at that point in time we can have the idea of having special presentations, special paper of the impact of millet or the impact of the year 2023 on the increase of millet and the benefits of millet, especially on the development of the value chain. I congratulate the organizers. This is the emphasis where we are putting on develop that value chain. Production, as we had had it in the past, we cannot continue with that. We have to have more science, knowledge, and technology accompanying that millet production. We will be surely contributing if we are successful in developing these value chains. We will surely be contributing to these SDGs, especially SDG 1 and SDG 2. As I said, we are here as a platform now. African Asian Rural Development Organization is very happy to associate itself with this movement, with this démarche, I would say, to take up that international year of millet, because the African Asian Rural Development Organization, is an organization which is bridging, which is connecting Africa and Asia. I will invite all the startups, all the initiatives, especially from India and all countries also, to make use of our platform, which is giving an immense platform and potential for new startups, for new initiatives. Especially, I'm inviting everybody who can easily connect to the African Asian Rural Development Organization to tap one of the largest continental free trade area in Africa, which is nowadays called the African Continental Free Trade Area. So it is one of the largest free trade areas, which is already connecting 1.3 billion people in Africa. And all the African countries are connected to that, especially on the continent of 54 countries, representing a total value of 3.4 trillion US dollars. So together we can realize that potential. Together we have to make sure that there is more cooperation. And this is why we're inviting you to join us also with the African Asian Rural Development Organization, which where lately we have put emphasis on technology dissemination, and technology sharing between countries. So this is an opportunity to make use of the year itself and all the new startups and the players and also the policymakers to review of the policies so that we can and to build up new ecosystems to make sure that we have more vibrant economies, we have more buoyancy in economies and resilience in economies. Especially, we know that some of them are still lacking steam to bounce back after the COVID, and they are finding it very difficult to combat these main issues like climate change, finance, and food security. So, I will again, we're very happy to have more discussions and more sharing and more collaboration with all the partners who are present here. And I would like to announce that even our organization, African Asian Rural Development Organization, we are taking that mission of the International Year of Millet. We've got a specific initiatives also. We are having an online program on millet very soon. This February itself, we are having that one. And then we are coming up with a special publication on millet. So I will invite inputs from all the stakeholders, all our partners also, to be with us for that special publication. And we are also having a roundtable, which has been programmed for the month of March. So they are inviting all the partners and all stakeholders to see to it how we can take further that mission of millet to our member countries and also to the whole world. I would like to end only by highlighting that it's a golden opportunity for India, for the government of India, which is chairing, which is having the presidency of G20. So that G20 concept and philosophy itself of one earth, one family, and one future is the basics of our collaboration in our African Asian Rural Development Organization. where we are connecting these two, we're having the solidarity aspects also there. So we must make use of this opportunity to ensure that we show to the world, we can, India and the government of India can demonstrate to the world lots of achievements. There are many achievements, as I will usually say, that India is one of the brightest spots in the world, though there are many issues coming up. But being one of the brightest spots and having very lots of series of programs which are successful, especially for rural development. We know that rural development programs have been very successful. Empowerment has been there, electrification is there, and rural road development programs, livelihood programs. So I will invite all stakeholders, especially those from India, and the startups and all the stakeholders who are present here to make use of that G20 presidency period of 1 year to promote not only the year of millet, but more cooperation. This is what is required in the world. The world requires more cooperation and more sharing of successful policies, successful programs, and technologies which can easily be shared. Just like when we were having concern with COVID, India has gratefully, and the world acknowledges the sharing of vaccine and the fastness with which vaccines have been developed. And this is why the world is still looking towards India and the government of India for more support to ensure prosperity, especially in that in those rural areas. As I want to reiterate, we should never forget that Africa and Asia, we are nations and countries which are living mostly in the rural areas. So whatever efforts are being done, I will also invite policymakers to see to it that rural development has always to be mainstream in policies, in budget, and in all the programs. So with these few words, again, congratulations to the organizers. It's a pleasure to be here to address you a few words on behalf of the African Asian Rural Development Organization, on behalf of all these governments which are part of the African Asian Rural Development. Thank you very much, and I wish this forum lots of success, coming up with new policies and new ideas to get things rolling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, His Excellency, for the wonderful, informative details that you have shared. And of course, $3.4 trillion is a very big opportunity for any country to look at it and then work very closely with our. And we at Millet Mart Ventures are really committed to it, and we have already taken up the initiatives, and the discussions are going at a higher level, and I'm quite sure that in the days to come, the, the proceedings will start as soon as possible. As you rightly pointed out, the technology is the front driver of this particular initiative, and we are left no stone unturned to bring the technology and also to deliver the right form of technology with a very safety way to deliver the food globally, especially with millet to start with, and of course that can be replicated to any food product basically. So I am very happy to announce over here that at Millet Mart Ventures we have patented one particular process which can be deployed all through the food startups, that is bringing out the traceability in the food process, basically called MMB Food Trust. I now call upon Secretary Mr. Sudhanshu of APEDA to share his views and also formally declare our MMB Food Trust open in his address. Over to you, Mr. Sudhanshu.
Thank you very much.
esteemed dignitaries at the dais and the participants. And in a way, I'm feeling glad to be a part of this. And first, let me thank for inviting Peter to be a part of this. And seeing that only the serious, I think, people, whenever such programs are there, when we expect a large number of people, and due to some reason people are not able to come, if the serious people are there, then the purpose gets served, that at least we are able to generate thoughts, listen people, brainstorm, have a good interaction, and after the program we are able to go with some concrete things. So, Secretary General Ardo has already given a very good insight, and I'm really glad that I was not much aware about the Ardo that representing 35 countries. It's really a good opportunity for India to collaborate and increase our business in terms of agri exports to all these countries. And as far as millet is concerned, because the program for which we all have assembled, and the idea is to interact and brainstorm. On the proposal of India, we all know that International Year of Millets has been announced for 2023. And the good part is this, that in a short time, the millet is becoming, our millet movement is becoming a buzzword. And everywhere we are listening about millet. And at times we feel scared also in terms of not to, because I being part of the government, that when we create or we pitch for at the international platform about the strength of our country in terms of millet production, one of the largest producing country. And the way the value-added products in the last 1 or 2 years are coming, the good part is that the small companies, the startup companies are coming to a wide range of millet products. And in-house, we say, because in the international trade, whenever there is the requirement emerges, any of the buyer or the importer find the product to be good and the product can get a good response in the market. We need to have the sufficient bandwidth in terms of backward, the production, processing, packaging and labeling as per the international requirement. And such programs really enables us to make an action plan what needs to be done. I'm really glad that Millet Mart Venture has come up with such technology certification product, and which will not only help the millet industry. It is beginning with the millet, but it is going for the all other agri product, because as a pilot, when a pilot gets successful, same can be replicated in other products. And in this mission, I'm glad, and we all should be proud of to have the support of Professor Puni, who has been the strength of the country in terms of, he was the former DG of NIC, National Informatics Center, the main premium organization in implementation of IT and technology. And he is still, after the superannuation also, is still contributing to the food sector in terms of generating professionals for serving in the agri sector. And Mr. Parthsarthi very well said that IT or in any form can definitely bring the initiative to the forefront. So, as far, because I represent the organization APIDA, which is Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority under Ministry of Commerce and Industries, which look after almost 700 plus products. And the product category is the fresh horticulture, fruit and vegetable seed, and processed food, animal products, this meat, poultry, dairy, honey, and cereals. And millet is a part of the cereal basket. So when this International Year of Millets, this was conceptualized, and we brainstormed that how basically it can be connected to the global market. We launched the first program in Ashoka Hotel on 5th of December, and which was basically starting the movement officially. and it was a good gathering. All the FPOs, processors, startups, all companies were there and they showcased their product. That was the beginning. And Mr. Parsad, mentioned that incidentally Millet Part Venture has been a part of the journey which just PIDA has started. Their officer, Mr. Satya, who was in Indonesia with me, we organized a buyer seller meet in Indonesia. He returned back from Belgium because there was a second program. So I'm really glad that Millet Mart Venture is joining all the programs. Though APIDA has planned for 16 international trade events in various parts of the globe, covering all the continents. And the idea is to bring the Indian millets to the forefront of the global agri-trading community, that Indian millets have the strength and India had the capacity and capability to cater safe millet products. When the question comes of the safe millet products, it's such a question, it is not just a statement. Lot needs to be done. Because whenever we talk about exports, export is until and unless we have a quality production, until and unless we are able to meet the requirement of the importing country in terms of compliances, we cannot be successful, because if a bad product, if an inferior quality of product reaches to global market in any part of the world, and it spoils the image of the country, it gives bad name to the country. Because one side, from the government, from the private sector, we create a hype and the market about Indian millets. That gives a confidence to the consumer or the buyer or the importer or the wholesaler that Indian product, India has this strength. But at the same time, if any of the single exporter send an inferior product, so that becomes a serious concern for everyone, and serious concern for all the stakeholders in the agri supply chain, for which we all need to be cautious. So I hope that in the today's program, which is going to be, I understand, a 2 days program, different technical sessions are there. And in this, a lot of deliberations would be there. It is good that if less number of people are there, then the serious discussions will be there. And I hope and I am confident that after the end of the program, Millet Mart Venture will definitely come up with a paper. I will not say a white paper, a paper. What all interventions are required at each stage of the supply chain, whether at the production, the pre-harvest, the post-harvest, the processing, packaging, labeling, food safety, traceability, all. What all needs to be done. And then the role and responsibility needs to be defined. What will be the responsibility of as a farmer, suppose if I am producing millet, what am I supposed to do in terms of the pesticide or any, if the whole grain food is sent to any of the importing country, what all due cautions need to be taken. In terms of processed food also, what all is required. So that needs to be mapped basically. So it is really a good opportunity, and in APIDA, we are brainstorming to come up with a strategy. Though we have announced for the programs, 2 programs have already been organized, 14 programs are to be organized. When we are interacting with our Indian missions, because all these programs are getting organized through Indian missions abroad, Indian embassies or Indian high commissions. We were discussing in Indonesia, in Jakarta, when we organized a program, there the all top hotels, 80% of the hotels, which chefs were from India, or the general managers from India. So we asked the Indian embassy to connect with us so that we are able to sensitize the Indian chefs and the general managers, so that millet products, millet recipes goes to those hotels. And we feel that if we are able to get the millet recipes to be a part of breakfast menu of each hotel. And I'm not saying whether in the only the countries, other countries, but within the country also. Within the country also, we have a very good target audience. And in the, especially in the metro cities, if in every good hotel or the restaurant, if the millet recipes customized as per the local requirement. If we are able to get those added, definitely there will be a very good market within the country also, and globally the export can definitely boosted as per the vision of the government. So will not take much time. I think all professionals are there and will be deliberating further, which is the ultimate idea of this program. I have been given the responsibility. Thanks for giving me the responsibility to announce and open this trust, which is really I will not say it's a simple task. It's a very good initiative. A lot of efforts have been put in, and the Millet Mart Ventures have come up with this food trust, which ensures the quality from farm to fork, which is a quality accreditation like SQF, which can embody with the Indian millets. And I would like to announce that this certification, food trust certification, open for the industry. Let the industry take the benefit, and my all the best wishes for this to replicate same to other agri products in the country also. And I feel such kind of certification definitely gives a brand, registers a brand within the country and the outside the country. Because whenever we go to market, when we are able to see that some certification or brand is there, that generates confidence among the importers. So the certification will be going to value add for the cost of the product which a consumer would be purchasing, and which in turn will benefit the farmers, processors, and other stakeholders in the supply chain of millet. Thank you very much, and with all the best wishes for the success of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sudhanshu. We have small video to play.
Safe ingredients make safe food. At Millet Mart Ventures, we do not put all eggs in one basket. To ensure a steady supply of safe ingredients, we ensure all food from India to 170 countries are made as per the food safety norms of respective country. This number grows as we further keep visiting various destinations as a part of our Millet mission to celebrate the International Year of Millet 2023. We also have many strategies like supporting local companies to set up farms. Manufacturing facilities, testing facilities increase the amount of produce harvested from local farms. Our goal is to produce 100% safe food products to achieve rupees 1,000 crores of millet export by 2025 all across the globe. With intensive product research and AI-based precision farming adoption, we are able to grow 4 times more food with lesser resources. We can also tap on novel food options in the form of plant-based proteins. With our blockchain-based food trust, we are ready for the next step to ensure safest food from the Indian subcontinent to all parts of the globe. Ensuring food safety is by not less than a walk on a sharp-edged knife. Only safety standards to save food. And we adopt a risk-based approach to food safety, where food of higher risk is subject to more stringent checks to ensure it can match all international food safety norms. Our approach is consistent with international standards and guided by the NQR Safety Maturity Guidelines. We also pay close attention to new technologies and developments in food safety. As we prepare ourselves for challenges ahead, be it enforcing safety regulations or testing food samples for compliance and taking the lead in food safety, research and technology, or having a robust food audit and inspection regime that covers every food establishment, we keep a close watch and help them to make it their culture and part of an integrated food safety system that is in place so that you can enjoy every meal with peace of mind. Adopt NRLDM QMM-based food trust today and be part in making sure that your food supply is resilient and safe together. Ensure supply of safe
Indian
food
white color going green globally. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. And it's really a very proud moment for us, and we will appreciate the fact that so far people have been following the ISO standards stipulated by countries like UK, Netherlands, and so on. And here is the first time in the history of the food, an Indian certification is going to be deployed globally. Thank you very much. And it's really a very proud moment for us to be associated with organizations like ICRA, ARDO, and APEDA, and so on and so forth. And thanks to Professor Moni and his wonderful juncture for his all kind advices and words, which made it possible for us to achieve this particular feat. So I now call upon Mr. A.M. Pariyar, upwards from Chhattisgarh, who has been guiding the entire digitization of the land records, farm records, and so on. So he is the man behind that the revolution of the food industry there in Chhattisgarh. And I wish him to share a few words about our association with the Agro Agri Analytics and also the blockchain technology, which is the backbone of our certification process. Over to you, Mr. Pariyar.
Thanks, Mr. Parthasarthi, for the kind words. And respected dignitaries on the dais. I would like to demystify some of the technological terms which probably all of us were hearing during the previous addresses. Being a technical person or a hardcore techie, I would like to just demystify. I would start with a small story. Probably all of us during our childhood in Panchatantra, we all must have read about that. How a poor Brahmin, he was taking a calf on her shoulder, and there were three crooks. They came and tried to steal him. Don't you feel that as a farmer or anybody involved in the whole supply chain of agriculture produce, we face the same story every day? Because when a farmer produces, the biggest problem is he is purchasing everything as a retailer. He is producing him all the seeds, nutrients, everything as a retailer. But when he is trying to sell his produce, he is selling it as a not as a retailer but as a wholesale producer, wholesale seller. And then the biggest problem is when he is moving, it is not he is not moving the money from one account to the other. He is moving the value. Agriculture is a very, very complex thing. Unfortunately, it is one of the most neglected things. And probably all of us, we know it from the heart that our survival, whether the next generation will be there on this planet Earth, will depend upon how we can ensure that food security, which is primarily focused in the Millennium Development Goal and now the Sustainable Goals of United Nations, it is all interlinked. Where comes the technology? All these things, when we are talking about how we can ensure that whenever this value is moving from one place to another, we all have seen in the 80s how the internet started. It started with just connecting two computers. From there were two PC and there was a cable we were connecting so that data from one computer can be transferred to the other. Then came another revolution where suddenly we found that now the entire world is connected on a network and you can transfer the data. Parallel to this, just think about how we were trading our agriculture produce. It was basically a barter system. I have wheat, you have millet, and we are exchanging. I am giving 1 kg of wheat, you are giving me back 2 kgs of millet, something like that. So the data which was transferring, that started. Suddenly there was another revolution which started in somewhere in 90s. That was a security layer, which we call SSL layer, where suddenly we found that there is an encryption. Coming back to our agriculture, you see, we were very happy doing a bartering system. Suddenly the government or the king, he said, now you cannot trade like this, you will have a minted money. The money was exchanged, so rather than giving 1 kg of wheat and taking back two bags of millet, we said for giving 1 bag of wheat, you will get this much of coins, and for taking back these 2 bags of millet, you will get this much number of coins. Change of scenario. Once again, suddenly the government became more mechanical, and then they said, okay, fine, this coin is a value which you are moving, but we will give you a paper which will say that okay, this much value is there, or your wheat or something is there in the godown, and you have a piece of paper. This paper you can exchange. That paper ultimately became the note or the currency. So from coin or gold coins or silver coins, we moved into paper currency. After this encryption and all, which came in the industry, there was another change when government again said, so globally when you are making a transaction, you can have a digital money, where there was a piece of card, and we were told that yes, now yes you can trade or exchange those values, but it will also be bringing in your ledgers. So whenever you are moving and going to a fine dining restaurant with your credit card or a debit card, actually when you are paying, there was no cash transaction, but transaction was happening on the internet, or from one account is debiting and another account is getting credited. So this is how it started. But the problem remains same. How we are able to move the value, because here what we are trying in terms of our technology, that how the millet from India, which has certain nutrient value, or from say probably Africa, which may have another kind of how we can ensure that those values are safe whenever these transactions are happening. So it should not be like those Panchatantra tale where somebody is saying okay, this value is less, this value is more, because during the transaction this something has been pilfered, there was some another thing that has been mixed up. So how this entire things can be traded? Another two concept which probably we all have started hearing is that whenever these kind of transactions are happening, couple of basic parameters which are in terms of a technology we need. Whenever somebody is transacting their money, they don't want this to be disclosed. So the technology uses the kind of an algorithm which was basically used by during the Second World War, which is called encryption. Or every data needs to be encrypted in such a way that only the receiver will come to know what exactly it means. So if I am transferring certain amount to another third person, no other person need to know how much money we are moving, except the regulator. So this is what something is a technological revolution which also came in the data exchange or the value exchange. Now the money also involved the ledger. Now the ledger also started involving the value, which is in a layman's term we roughly say the cryptocurrency kind of a thing, which is in a common parlance you will find that people are talking about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is nothing moving those value without a third party or any third person giving a guarantee that it is a common consensus. So that mechanism has been built in along with the Millet Mart venture, and now this technology are very soon it will be available to each and every farmer who wants to transact globally. Has been sorted, where it has been processed, how it has been transacted, and is it safe for me to consume or not. So that is the technology that is, I hope you will all appreciate. And ladies and gentlemen, now this technology is available to all the stakeholders. You may be a farmer, you may be a group of farmers, you may be a self-help group, you may be an FPO, maybe a food processor, an exporter, or a end consumer. This technology will ensure that the right food is there served on your dinner table. It has not been adulterated. You are there as a responsible citizen. You can even ensure that the right price has been given to the farmer. He has not been cheated. Your food is responsibly sourced, and it is actually every spoonful of those nutrients which is becoming a part of your body is safe, and it is responsibly sourced, and it is giving the best value to that farmer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a very wonderful feeling that whenever the advancement happens, the people at the base level are not forgotten. So the main concept of the association with World Agro ensure that farmers at the grassroots level get benefited directly, and their settlement is made then and there. So that is the idea behind the entire process. And we are thankful to Mr. Parial traveling all along from Raipur for the end of the event. And I think that His Excellency is having some other assignment and has to leave. So we thank you very much once again for the patience and the time. So the continuing process, I now call upon Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, the President of All India Council of Robotics and Automation. And of course, Millet Mart Ventures are very closely associated with them also in the process of promoting the automation to the agriculture. So I now call upon Mr. Sharma. Thank you.
Honorable dignitaries on the dais, all participants. It's been an honor for me, and it's really a delighting moment. Been invited here. Thanks to Mr. Park, Mr. Satyanarayan, and everybody who is watching this event as well. I represent a tech organization. My knowledge about millet is just like I love to have millet food. My mom prepared millets roti, bajra ka jo roti hota hai, that is with a good and makhan that I really love to eat. And my wife belongs to Punjab, so some like mummy ki roti and sarson ka saag. I really love to have it, and my daughter prefer ragis. So this is the only knowledge I have, so I can talk more about technologies and all. This year we are celebrating International Year of Millet, and I just got to know some statistics like India is one of the largest producer of millets. Around 41% may be more mistake. So this can be a great opportunity for us, in fact. If today, like we talk about, apart from this production, globally we do not have any brand which is being produced by millets, like something like fiber biscuit or some other processed foods and all. This is a worry part, and this is an opportunity for us as well. So what I believe all stakeholders here, or whosoever is accountable for this, should be contributing something. Not only just having this discussion here in this kind of a summit. This is a good start, like in the beginning of the year, that when we are celebrating this International Year for Millet. This is the first edition I could attend here. But everybody who is attending here should be taking it as a bonus and trying to contribute something to this industry. This is what we all should be doing. We have to become a global leader in this segment. As far as I know, like millet comes from grass family. Correct me, sir, if I'm right. I don't have much idea. So grass has a nature. कहीं भी उग जाती है, किसी भी environment में उग जाती है. Correct? It can grow anywhere, any kind of a climate. So if we adopt this nature, we can build a culture कि हर कोई इस तरफ सोचना शुरू करे. We should try to feed our kids and all millet foods. Different locations में जहाँ पे available नहीं है, because I could see like in UP, majority of the homes or probably in Rajasthan they use bajra too much, but in Delhi I really feel difficulty to find these things in the markets as well. So we try to build this nature. Everybody should start talking about it. Everybody should start using it, promoting it. Then probably we can take a lead globally in this industry. That's very, very important. India is known as an agri country. Our major economy contributes, agriculture industry contributes. So this can actually add on more to this share. So we all should be putting efforts to develop this. Representing AICR, in fact, we have also taken certain initiative. We recently formed a committee steering committee on agriculture as well, agri-tech, which is being headed by Mr. A. Paryal, in fact, and co-chaired by Padam Shri, Mr. Kanwar Singh Chauhan. And in fact, we are obliged, Mr. Moni is also the part of our state committee, and lots of suggestions and guidance we are taking from him as well to develop all this stuff. But in agriculture, this year, in fact, we are coming up with certain innovative projects. We are coming up soon with zero-touch farming concept to be tried in India, urban farming concept, and probably in the month of June, mid of June, we will be having large conference and large conclave on agri-tech, wherein we would be talking about how technology can be supporting this whole agri-tech industry, not only about growing the crops and all enabling related like services or any kind of thing which is related to agriculture, wherein technology can play a major role. So we will try to bridge that gap and try to invite researchers, scholars worldwide, so we'll be supporting and giving the guidance and doing sign-offs and collaborating. All this stuff is to happen. So wherein we play a role to support this industry, we'll try to because I really it's an eye-opener. Some of the like initiative which FPW Mr. Sudhanshu was telling, some initiative they have taken, even RD has taken. So probably we will also try to contribute something to this specific industry through this agri-tech steering committee and our events we will be organizing in the near future. So this is where probably we can play a major role. And the same I expect from everyone, and to be part of that. Soon that information would be coming to all of you, and everybody can take the mileage, can be associated, how technology can be giving support in your like processes, companies, startups, and everywhere. So I'll end my note with this best wishes to these organizers and this success of this forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma, for the wonderful delivery. I now request Mr. Muthuswamy to take Mr. Mukesh Shuklaji to the forum. And please bring him to the dais. Please welcome Mr. Mukesh Shukla, Padmashri Mr. Mukesh Shukla, the Vice Chairman of CWS. It's a real privilege for us that such personality there on this occasion. I now request Mr. Satyanarayan Raman to do the honors to Mr. Mukesh Shukla. Thank you, Mr. Raman. It's a wonderful initiative that ICRA is taking up, bringing even the student community to the forum. And I am also privileged to be the steering committee member of STEM education of ICRA. My mentor for that matter. So I call up
I am not an agriculture scientist. I am a mathematics student and from Ramakrishna Mission here in the College of Madras. MS Mathematics and Computer Science from my Chennai, 76, 78 batch, and then I joined the government. Since I was born and brought up in rural India, when the government gave me an opportunity to visualize the district level computerization program in 1987, I thought that it is the great opportunity to bring in technology to the rural area. 1987, the program was called the District Information System Program, 512 districts. And that's how the first e-governance program came into picture. And 95, I was asked to look into the IT and agriculture sector. And I went to my boss that I would like to have a blueprint. I want to develop a blueprint for IT and agriculture for India. And I would like to have a conference. He said that go ahead. And we had a conference at Vigyan in 1995, May. Former Agriculture Minister Dr. Balram Jalkar came for the program. That was the real eye-opener. And even before the National E-Governance Program came into picture, which came into India in 2005, 1995, India had a blueprint for IT and agriculture even before internet came into picture. 15 informatics network program. And I called it that program as National Conference for Informatics Development for Sustainable Agriculture, ISDA 95. And that time it was only, we had some recommendation from Rio and Summit, 92. I thought that this is how we should get to do that. That 15 informatics network program is very important. And that program recommended 3 to 6% of the agriculture budget to be earmarked for IT in agriculture. And I raised it, and Honorable Minister, Dr. Balram Jagger said that why not? We should have it. That's how National Informatics Center, and that time I was a Deputy Director General in National Informatics Center, and the Minister of Agriculture, worked together to bring in IT in agriculture. That there is no going back. 2002, I brought the Smart Village program, got it approved by the Planning Commission. But we had a lot of problems in operationalizing it. I wanted to have one district to operation per, one district per state and one in Andaman. And then by I requested the Secretary at that time, Mr. Satyanarayana, and also the Managing Director convert 10% of the common services centers as a farmer common services center. It is 2013, and nothing has happened. I was invited by the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, the first private university to have is an engineering discipline to have an agriculture as a use case. It's the first university to have a center for agriculture informatics and e-governance research studies. And I thought that by traveling in more than 400 districts in the country during my service in government, I was able to see the rural distress. And even farmers were not able to have their sons and daughters to do farming. They're all getting into other areas. And I thought that, why can't we make agriculture as a preferred option for every student in the country to get into IT and agriculture? You have a on-farm activities and off-farm activities and non-farm activities. And this, with the help of the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, we were able to have an MTech level program in agriculture informatics. It's the first university to have MTech level programs in agriculture informatics. And see, it is necessary to have the agriculture science graduates and engineering graduates and also non-engineering postgraduate students to get into agriculture. And that is also a big realization that, India is the only country which has got 365 days of sunshine, 127 agroclimatic zone, more than 400 agriculture commodities. And most of the agricultural commodities are adopting natural farming. And why can't India be the fruit bowl for the entire world? And another one is that, farm health management. And it has to be an integrated approach. You have a human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and environmental health, everything is siloed in the country. And it is a $1 trillion data economy. If you see the data over a GIS technology on a village level, and we don't have to go for a national lockdown for any pandemic situations hereafter. So, when our Honorable Prime Minister announced doubling farmers' income by 2022, a committee was set up under the chairmanship of Dr. Ashok Dalwai. And that time the Minister of Agriculture, Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. Patnaik, he invited me as a chief advisor to the Ministry of Agriculture and associated with the Dr. Ashok Dalwai committee. I chaired 2 subcommittees, and volume 12B talked about digital technology and agriculture. That committee gave an opportunity for me to travel from 1987 onwards to 2016. And I put it as a 7 mission road programs for the total digitalization of Indian agriculture sector. If India is an agrarian economy, every higher education institution in the country has to have something to do with agriculture. We can't only manufacture students only for corporates for the Western countries. And it is very important, and that's the decision that let us get into that agricultural informatics as a discipline. And I'm very happy. And Dr. Ashok Talwai committee also recommended 7 mission programs. During the farmer strike, I was invited by Honorable Defense Minister and Honorable Agriculture Minister. 15 scientific experts were called. I am one among them. The meeting was held on 15-16 October, and it is in the residence of Honorable Defense Minister. I told him that the country needs 1 agri-tech startup in every Gram Panchayat, 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups, 14.5 crores operational holders, 85% are small and marginal operational holders. IT-led agriculture development has to take place. And it's a great potential. And the student community has to be turned into as an IT-enabled agricultural professionals. And we can do wonders. And this is where, and then the COVID situation came. I thought that it's the biggest opportunity. So I wanted to propagate the recommendation of the Doubling Farmers Income Committee recommendations, digital technology. So from the Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology and the African Asian Rural Development Organization, we have joined together to conduct every week 2 webinars. Thursday on National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers Income by 2022, and Saturday International Webinar Series on Open Source Digital Technology towards self-reliant in association with our. And by this week, we have completed 107 webinars in National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers Income by 2022, and 103 webinars under the International Webinar Series on Open Source Digital Technology. Tremendous support from the experts, both NRI and India. And this can facilitate the student community to get into agri startups. Then on 7th January, Dr. Dinesh Dyan, the former Managing Director of Common Services Center, he informed me that he would like to deliver a talk in the International Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers Income, an International Webinar Series of Open Source Digital Technology. So I invited him, and I raised the same point which I raised it in 2013. We asked for 10% of the Common Services Center to be earmarked as a farmer Common Services Center. Now you are talking on the agri entrepreneurs potentially in India. Then why can't we have it? And in that talk, he also said that the time has come that India should have 1 agri Common Services Center in every village. 6 lakhs agri Common Services Center. And each Common Services Center can generate 10 jobs, 6 billion jobs, and 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups. Now that, this can give a tremendous potential. And avenues for the student community, being +2 students or the graduates, engineering graduates, postgraduate students of any discipline. Only thing which is needed is that they have to have some interest in agriculture-related activities. The technology will propel them. That's why when Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, the president of the ICRA, need to be the convener for the agricultural discipline. And I thought that it is at this age I should also get associated so that this country needs IT agriculture has to be the premier one. Be it IIT, be it NIT, be it Triple IT, be it IIM, be it Central University, they have to have some research work in the agriculture sector. If India is an agrarian economy, that is a mission which we have now, taken it up. I am very happy that this webinar series has brought up tremendous opportunity. And we had a conference on March 8th. I was delivering a talk in International University, Jaipur International University, Jaipur National University, and I requested Mr. Satyanarayan Raman to deliver a talk on millets, the roadmap from IoT to blockchain recently. That was the first talk, and which was delivered from Jaipur, and it is seen, watched by many people. And the impact is that I was invited by Jamia Millia Islam University, and to talk to the geography, research scholars in geography, discipline to address on since the next year is 2023 is the international year of millet. Professor Modi, please come and address the research scholars of the geography. And that's how that also was taken up. And then I thought that we have a recommendation of Dr. Ashok Dalwai 7 mission road programs. The first one is synergization of all government schemes at the village. And even 6,500 development blocks are there. The block level officers don't know many of the schemes. The first one is that digital transformation in the form of 3 categories. Smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Then I thought that since our honorable president is coming from the tribal community, so in order to honor that, why can't we operationalize smart tribal farming as a one component? Smart tribal farming itself is a sustainable farming, and we had a discussion, and we have taken it up. An association with the Millet Mart Ventures Limited, that a cluster of 10 tribal villages in Gujarat, in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, which includes the district of our honorable president comes from, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. And we started having this with local NGOs working over there. And every Thursday, every Tuesday at 4 to 5 p.m., we have a series of discussions on how to promote in the cluster of 10 villages to start with millets, bring in productivity, and how to make it as a globalized with integrate with the global value chain, and train the tribal boys and girls in the millet process. And this is the exercise which we are now on the job. And then the next one is that, India is the #1 producer of jackfruit. And Tripura is #1. Now the Odisha has taken over as #1. West Bengal, Assam, Odisha, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. And jackfruit is a jack of all fruits, all nutrients, and still is being sold in the roadside. Once it becomes a fruit, it becomes wasted. And why can't India be the country which to make everything out of jackfruit? It's a circular economy. Nothing goes waste, and it's a climate resilient, and the people can make money out of it. And people say that it is not only doubling the farmer income, it's more than double. And this is also, I'm very happy that it is this value chain is being picked up like anything. And I think the student community, and this country needs to have an agriculture polytechnic, agriculture schools, agriculture ITIs, more than agriculture colleges to teach BS agriculture science. Student community can build, especially the students from rural area, can convert rural India to shine, smile, and grow. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mani. There is a need, as you rightly said, that instead of opening agricultural colleges, go for the polytechnics and the ITIs, so that more and more village level entrepreneurs and technipreneurs in the field of agri-tech come into that. I now call upon Padma Shri Mukesh Shuklaji, the Vice Chairman of CWS, to say a few words on behalf of our agriculture Agriculture Minister.
आप सबको सम्मानित मंच को और आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने मुझे आमंत्रित किया। सर, मैं जब सर्विस में आया तो सबसे पहले मैंने जिस मंत्रालय के साथ काम किया वो मंत्रालय भारत सरकार का एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्ट्री थी और फूड प्रोसेसिंग के साथ मैंने काम करना शुरू किया। इसलिए उस समय जब 2014 में भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार बनी और उस समय ये चैलेंज लेना कि हम किसानों की आय को दुगना करेंगे, तो मुझे लगता है कि किसी पॉलिटिकल आदमी के द्वारा इस तरह का चैलेंज लेना जो सरकार में हो, ये बहुत बड़ी बात होती है। इसलिए भी बड़ी होती है क्योंकि आप सीधे सीधे अपने टारगेट को इस तरह से ओपन करके बताना कि भाई मैं देश के किसानों की आय को दुगना करना चाहता हूँ। भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ने उस संदर्भ में सभी प्रकार के प्रयास किए और आज हम 7-8 साल की सरकार के प्रयासों के बाद ये देख रहे हैं कि कहीं ना कहीं किसान की आय को हम उस दिशा में आगे बढ़कर ले चल पाए। मैं जब भारत सरकार के अलग अलग मंत्रालयों में काम कर रहा था तो मैंने देखा कि बहुत सारे मंत्रालयों का बजट, इस देश में स्वास्थ्य का बजट, इस देश में अन्य अन्य विभागों के बजट सिर्फ इसलिए खर्च हो रहे हैं कि इस देश में खाने पीने की व्यवस्थाएं ठीक नहीं है। मिलेट की ये योजना मुझे लगता है कि सिर्फ एग्रीकल्चर में किसानों की आय को दुगना करने का काम नहीं करेगी, ये देश के स्वास्थ्य को भी ठीक करने का काम करेगी। इस देश की हमारे यहाँ की पुरानी धारणा रही है कि जैसा खाया अन्न वैसा रहेगा मन। इस देश के अंदर इस प्रकार की सनातन संस्कृति परंपरा और इस प्रकार के फूड कल्चर को हम लेकर चले हैं, अगर हम ये चाहते हैं कि युवा लंबे समय तक जीवित रहे तो भी आपके जो प्रयास है ये होने ही चाहिए। मैं आप सबका हृदय से धन्यवाद देता हूँ जिन्होंने इस प्रकार के प्रयास को शुरू किया। मैं मानता हूँ कि छोटा सा प्रयास आने वाले समय में पूरे देश का और आने वाले समय में पूरे विश्व का नेतृत्व करेगा। पूरी दुनिया के फूड कल्चर को के ऊपर आपका इम्पैक्ट जाएगा। मैं इसी कामना के साथ आप सबका यहाँ आमंत्रित करने के लिए हृदय से धन्यवाद देता हूँ और पंडित स्वामी जी का धन्यवाद करता हूँ जिन्होंने मुझे आमंत्रित किया। आप सबका हृदय से धन्यवाद, हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं, बधाई।
We have a distinguished personality with us who has worked with giants like M.S. Swaminathan. I now call upon Mr. Darshan to say a few words.
Very good afternoon. It was a great pleasure and privilege joining the dais, all very great personalities in the organization. Today is a very important day because year 1st January 2023 already our Honorable Prime Minister started the Parliament show the world, particularly the United Nations, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, Rome, launched the program International Year of Millets in December. Honorable our Minister for Agriculture State attended that program, the launching the day. After that, Prime Minister did the two events. One is we are going to lead G20, the first time India under the Prime Minister chairmanship. We are going to show a good opportunity actually for India. Because G21, second is International Year of Millets. International Year of Millets, almost 195 countries, more than 75 countries supported for India proposal International Year of Millet this year. This opportunity for all our young farmers, particularly the agro-biodiversity hotspot in India, very rich agro-biodiversity, because Professor M.S. Swaminathan, who is the father of Green Revolution, working in 1988 onwards, the agricultural research, particularly the farming community, the rural area. Our organization nicely title given National Conference Rural Development and Millets is very important because everything go for rural farmers. Farmers come from rural. Because the one advantage, the millets are, those days people always tell millets of poor people, food, poor people only eat. Today, because nutrient-rich cereal, smart nutri-rich cereal, because this is World Food Program, United Nations, in that organization also go, EFOD, International Fund for Agriculture Development in Rome, United Nations. This all organization now focus, India got opportunity. All our farmer tribal people, particularly in Orissa, in Koraput district, the millet mission is one of the famous now. And in Tamil Nadu, the district called Namakkal, in Kollis, the tribal people went to all the way from Rome, show the road show, what the millet, nutri-cereals giving a benefit to the people. India has no problem so far, food security we are very rich, but nutrition is very, very needed now, or malnutrition very high. We want what going to give next generation, maybe one advantage, millet will give more food and rich nutrition cereal. Maybe we want to promote, particularly our Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Kabak, Minister of Food Processing, even linkage with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, joined together under the institution like ICAR, there is a Institute National for Millet Research Institute, Hyderabad, have a sub-institute also in near Visakhapatnam. Why I want to tell this kind of thing? Because what the farmers going to benefit, everything. Finally, what Modi sir told, farmers doubling income farmer. That's very, very important. Farmers Commission report given a recommendation, doubling income only for 50 plus, C50 plus. That's very important. Maybe Ashok Dalwai report going to achieve this goal. We want to promote more millet, the startup program. Timely started this actually millet part. New startup now, more young people, particularly the IIT students, all engineering students. I want to recommend sir actually, the missionary needed. Those days very difficult to millets valued post-harvest technology. Today so many missionaries come. We want to promote more millet, young people, particularly India have a huge population. Youngest country in the world, more than 35 age group, 75% of the people in India, global. We are going to beat China very soon, already because of population. China's going down yesterday. The news said China population going down, India are going to beat. Particularly, where the job security, we are ready. Everybody now good, almost more than 40% of young people study higher study. The job security very important. Only one job security going to agriculture. Agriculture only going to give every young people giving opportunity because we have a skill ministry separate, giving a lot of opportunities. All nationals bank giving opportunity for startup program. We want to promote maybe this startup millet program. Give a separate bill entrepreneur. We want to link with not only for APIDA, also nationals bank like NABARD or Indian Bank, whatever. We want to promote more young people giving opportunity startup program. In IIT Madras, giving a new research park. Every research park maybe needs such kind of things for the young people, women and men. Particularly the women, because we want to promote more women entrepreneurs. The technology, Modi sir said, technological empowerment for rural women, more than men. Women are using very nicely the iPhone. What is our cell phone? We want to promote cell phone not only for only speaking, you are fine or not fine, but the business model. We want to create every women and men, the young people want to start an agriculture business person. Agriculture not only production for purpose of promoting food security. Business is very, very important. We want to tell I am a farmer, I am a farming businessman. That's want to create more opportunity. Switzerland have a global business council. Now India become a president, maybe our India is a proverb, always very young people. India is going to achieve economic growth. That's very important. Only way, millet promotion, the production, not only for 2023, the next generation, totally go for change. Those who are all going to eat rice or wheat after the green revolution growth, but millet promotion more interestingly, international people need a certification. All the state universities going to give a organic certificate, that's more value. Maybe our organization Millet Park create a more certification course also separately linked with the state universities. Very, very useful. The young people, particularly I want to tell you, nutri-rich, smart cereal. I have a very, because sir told me to 1992, our Sustainable Development Summit happened in Johannesburg. Those days, 1992 onwards, I was working in last milestone, reaching that reach. We have a plan, almost our Honorable Prime Minister come with an idea to going to launch program along with an Indian Railways IRTC. Knowledge on wheels very soon. For millet, knowledge on wheels, particularly the tribe going to drive Kanyakumari to Kashmir for awareness and literacy for nutrition. Where the nutrition come from? Only millet. So thank you very much for this opportunity giving me. We want to create for more young people become an entrepreneur, millet promoter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shanti. May I now request Mr. MC Dominic. Please come onto the stage and say a few words about Krishi Jagaran's vision about promoting agriculture and also millet in particular. Over to you.
Good afternoon. I think I'm an old man out of this program because it may be first time in an agri forum a journalist, an agri journalist, standing and talking. So here I want to bring to you our notice. See, we are doing lot of activities. Agri domain, the biggest in any world. Agri is the biggest domain. When I sit back and look at it, you see political domain, political TV, political newspaper, everything. There is a big domain from the media sector to cover it and glamorize it. Then business. There is a huge media platform to support and make it active. Take business. We have media houses to glamorize business. Take sports. We have a big media. But when we think of agriculture, do we have a media? I not only blame media houses, and you can see all the big media houses, they had agriculture in the beginning. But all of them dropped the agri-media segment because there was no profitability in that. So every media house worked on profitability. So that's the reason we could not create an agri-media platform. That's the reason many of the problems that is related to agriculture has not been addressed. If there is a strong media house, you can speak whatever is in Moisa, many of the spoke so important topics, but it never see a light in the media. But if the agri media, if the agri segment, agri domain together would have created a strong agri media, I think millet should have been far more established today. Many of the topics, see what a wonderful policies has been created in agriculture. They have not seen the light of the day. Why? There was no media after that to point out it has not been implemented. It has spent crores of rupees to find out what are the causes. But what happened? Nothing happened. So here I just want to request all the people, let's create this importance of media in agriculture. Not only that, I was talking to some of them. We all want farmers as an entrepreneur. Why should farmers should be a beggar all the time? We have never glamorized the farmer also. Tell me, if you see farmers become members of Rotary Club, Lions Club and so on, what a certain recognition there. Have we ever thought of creating the richest farmer of India? You have richest man everywhere. Why can't a farmer become the richest man in his district? We have not planted. Business media created the businessman of India. But we have not created. Why can't we glamorize the farmer? Why the people are running away from farming to other domains? because they want recognition, they want appreciation, they want love, which we are not giving to the farming community. Let me ask you one question. When Virat Kohli hit the sixer, what he says, or anyone play, they say it is Horlicks, Boost, everything. Have we ever said it is because the root I drink from the nearby farmer, Saudi farms? Nobody has said. We never created a farmer as a brand. And the brand actually started with the farming, which we neglected, we dropped it because there was no media to support. So my request to all the team who are sitting here, let us begin to give the recognition to the farmer. They will take millets to the globe. Make a farmer, he is the millet man of India. What? And the quality we need not bother. If you give the recognition, make a farmer brand the best quality of agri-produce you will get. You need not go after them. Because when they feel it is my produce, my tomato, he'll make sure that tomato will not have any bad effects on that. He will never use any chemicals that will affect it. But we are not told, we just tell farmer you do this. Why we are not able to recognize them, appreciate them, and applaud them? I stand here, we all sit here because of farmer. We just talk them. I am sorry to say, even though our farmers today with us here. You can see in Krishi Jaya, any program we start, the first speaker is a farmer. Whoever is the minister, anyone, we make sure the farmer starts speaking first. Because we have seen any program, the farmer speaks last, by the time everyone, so no one listens. Let me start. So that's we started one program called Farmer First. We have started a program called Farmer the Brand, FTP. We try to promote it. Any farmer want us to promote us as a brand. We created around 50 to 80 farmer the brands during COVID. And many of them got business from Dubai, France, different places. So if we can create low number of farmer brands, maybe millet farmer brands, a way of promoting that can be one. And another initiative which I have recently taken is the FPJ, Farmer the Journalist. Because we understood a farmer from the village can actually express what is there. If I want to vote from any village, it will not have the essence of what is happening. That is only can be done by a farmer. So today he need not read, write, he can just do a mobile picture. And I can tell you, go to our domain, you see at least 20 farmers videos uploaded in KrishiJaya.com. And today, we are happy to say we have a news channel going in all the 12 languages. By evening 6, whatever happened in the agriculture domain, because farmer understand their time, so we do it in their time. 12 languages you get it, and around 50,000 people listen to our news every day now. That is a big thing we have done. And we are happy, we could work, and we are in the 27th year now into agriculture. And yeah. And I've been awarded by INCO for regards for doing all these things. And we are also happy we could launch 23 editions, because we have 12 languages, 23 magazines come out every day. This month only, we launched the Millet Special Issue in our office only, and Rubalaji and few other ministers were there, and the DG ILO was also there. So we were extremely happy. It has welcomed by the whole agri community. We are very happy. And I'm not going to talk much on millets because the experts are sitting. I just want to show you that whatever is spoke there, it will see the light. By today and tomorrow, we will be aggressively promoting it. And I can tell you, even yesterday we had day before yesterday, we had a webinar, empowerment of women in agriculture, organizations, companies. See, the women are not getting encouraged to work in agri organizations. They cannot go to village, those things. So it has been addressed by some leading ladies. And I can tell you, yesterday's Google search, in global news, we were the fourth, even better than all other forward days or all of the region, even in Indian this one. So that's what I said. If we can pick up the things that is happening in the farming community, it will be accepted by everyone. It will be accepted by global. So I request the entire team, think of Agripedia. Let's together take the farmer to the global and give it to Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dominic. Just for the information, I think if Rajesh Singh is around, we can vouch for it. We have planned for a separate session for all the farmers to express their anguish or happiness or suggestions in this particular event, basically. But unfortunately, we could not get any of the farmers, attract them to come to this podium, but still we are trying our level best to bring tomorrow and make it happen. So it is definitely going to happen, and it is a part and parcel of all the events that at least Millet Mart does, that all the stakeholders are being considered and are being called and given the importance. So in the second half, we are going to have the stall owners who have come from various parts of the country. They will be sharing their information about their products and also their shortcomings or maybe the pressure problem areas, how it can be worked out and so on and so forth. So I'm really happy that even though we have very limited audience, but we have a meaningful audience who can do it. And I request Dr. Pant and also Mr. Dominic to travel along with us. We are planning another 7 editions in different southern parts of India, along with the business lines of the Hindu. So that the program is almost finalized. February 17th, 18th, we are having one event there at Coimbatore. So please do join us. We are here to travel along with you, and we are really privileged to have you as our media partner to cover all the happening that is going to. So with this, I think we should come to the closure of the first event and the first session of the event. I now call upon my friend and my partner, Mr. Satyanarayan, to thank the gatherings and also share his views about the roadmap of the platform. Over to you, Satyan.
Thanks, Martha, sir, for this opportunity. You could have seen the video of the food trust. Okay. So it is based on the work which I have done in the technology industry for the last 20 years. So I have served different industries across the world, and I have worked on very, very large systems integration project. See, when the year 2000, the Y2K problem has come in the US, where the mainframe systems, which had the DDMMYY, that means the year, the number of digits is only 2. So after 99, when the year 2000 comes, it becomes 00. So what will happen is that the entire systems across the world which are running on mainframe systems will crash. That means the world will crash. Okay, the technology crashes. So they wanted to move or change the 2-digit to 4-digit. So it's a it's a Herculean task. They need lakhs and lakhs of programmers who are experienced in mainframes, because the source code is written in COBOL language. So you have to go to the source code and change the 2-digit to 4-digit, and it can only be done in the US. So when the US was looking for lakhs of programmers, we had 2 options. Okay, the world had 2 options where the developers are in abundance. One is India, the second one is China. India had an advantage of China because we can read, write, and speak English, whereas Chinese programmers, they write their source code only in Chinese language, so they can't understand English,
and the mainframe, the COBOL programs were written in English. So when India had an opportunity to go and fix the YTP problem, the Americans were thinking how will the quality of the Indian programmers and the companies from which they are coming to, because they are very, very stringent about the quality. That time, the NASCOM body was formed and they started mapping the CMM, which is capability maturity model, which is the highest standards of quality in the world. And they started training the Indian software companies in CMM process. So the world's highest standard of quality is CMM level 5 ISO far. So now in India we have ISO 9000, which is the basic quality management process, and then is the 22000, which is a factory follows, and it has the process is looked at three different aspects. One is the premise surrounding the factory, and the machinery, and the third one is the human. Now, see the standards which we have in India. Okay, maximum companies which the food product companies have adopted 22,000. Now, what we have done is we brought in CMM process into the food process product manufacturing companies, especially in millet. That means, see, none of the process in India talks about the product, okay, whereas the world expects the product quality. So the CMM level 3 starts on the product quality, which is by it's a concept called DMATV framework: define, measure, analyze, test, and validate. So what we have done is, and this is the base, and ISO 22000 is at level 2, where you have the basic management process of the factory is set. Now on top of that, when we put level 3, then what we do is, see, in factories, people get raw material from various farmers and aggregators who aggregate and send. So for example, if it's say millet noodle manufacturing factory, our process is, you measure the raw material, what comes in, and you measure the quality of the product that goes out. That's it. What comes in and what goes out. And suppose if you are storing that raw material for another time, ensure that it is audited, okay, so that the raw materials are packed in the best condition, so that it does not lose its quality. So what we have done is, see, we have taken the Food Corporation of India's, okay, the quality parameters for millet grains, which is available in the training material, and we have piloted this for the last 2 years in few factories, where we measure the quality of the grain, and based on the quality of the grain, whether it is right for processing or not. If it is not, then don't take it, because the final product is not going to come properly. So once it is fine, then if it is being stored for more than for 6 months, for example, ensure that it is audited every 1 month, so that the storage and the packing of the raw material is also considered, because if the storage is not proper, then the raw material will lose its quality parameters. And then for the output for the product, what we are doing is, we are partnered with, we have been a core, we are a core member for APEDA. Wherever country APEDA goes, we go along with them, and we understand the quality compliance for millet food products for every country. See, I have recently been to Indonesia and now to Europe. See, this is a new concept even for the world. So, this is a new concept even for the world, and other countries are also trying to see how best they can fit their existing FDA process, food and food compliance process, which they have for other food products, how they can have a compliance for millet. So even different countries are also working because it's new for the whole world. So we are working with FDA for different countries to understand and work together and to fix the process for the compliance for their country, okay, which is in conformance with the existing standards which they have. And then we try to bring it here and put those process in the factory so that every product which goes out matches the quality compliance for each and every country. And as and when we visit new countries and understand their quality compliance process, we come back and add into our framework so that every factory manufactures the product which is compliance with all the countries that we visit. Okay, so this is what our mission and vision and what is our work for the next 2 years, and that is why we have the QM, the food trust, okay, which we have developed, and BMQR it is a international certification body, has agreed as partner to this, so that they go and they give the food trust certification. So we have tried this for last 2 years for countries like UAE and UK and Canada, and we are seeing good response. Okay. And our the implementation cost for the factory is also is affordable even for small startups also. So we have currently around 30 startups who have millet startups, millet food product manufacturing startups. They have signed an MOU with us for implementing, and thanks to PEDA for launching that today. And we are happy to set this process across Pan India.
People come and participate in the second half and also tomorrow, so that the message goes and reaches. It is not that we want a crowd or something like that. But thanks to Charan for taking the initiative to call this BAMC colleagues also. So now let's join for the lunch and meet back 10 minutes before to 3 o'clock, so that we can start this session of all the startups who have come to showcase their capabilities. We have Mr. Nadar, who has come all along from Chennai to share his experience of more than 30 years of travel with millet. He is the founder of the brand called Manna, it is the synonym for this health drinks in millet. So please do join us, and let's now break for the lunch. Thank you very much.
No, it's just landed from India. So thank you, sir. Very much grateful, sir.
See, oh Rajesh ji, how? Yes. सर इनको बता दो हम बात करते हैं बनाने वाले थे गवर्नमेंट से
Lunch break is also somewhere, no? Traffic jam and all that. These are the lacking. We are actually lacking in this committee only. Nobody is saying. You just need to construct the guidance. People will be doing it. We'll make a plan. What is to be done throughout the year in the and we'll ask people also. Which initiative some particular person is follow up or you send the yeah, I did. Then they'll consider actually I was talking we'll ask don't bother about these are execution will happen. Everybody will do it. फोन आया था पार्ट is also Yes, we also request logistics arrangement can be made. Why not? Very nice. We requested you also if you can arrange the logistics. And even what has You did not have your card.
program, the original program was Then I activated plan and it was overflow. General. गवर्नमेंट में क्या 108 लोगों का लिस्ट दिया 108 लोगों का लिस्ट भोपाल में जयपुर में जो प्रोग्राम हम तो साथ ही जुड़े हुए हैं Problem is we are also traveling with Afeda to many countries. Okay, so that is the biggest tight schedule program we are having there. तो इसलिए मैं कुछ बोल नहीं पा रहा हूँ. आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप में हाई पिंक कर लो, ठीक है? तो मैं आपको फिर